Hello everyone and welcome to F1 Challenge Career Part 10. Today we are going to Hockenheim, the old Hockenheim, the one with the huge straights and very high top speeds. This should suit our car, judging on Imola and judging on Canada. So this should be a good race today because the car will be nice around it. But I'll now hand you over to the commentator.
Just before the free practice session begins, let's take a quick look at the Drivers' Championship. Hockenheim is running away with the Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher, second. David Coulthard, third. Well, that covers the drivers. Let's take a quick look at the constructors next. McLaren are running away with the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are second. Williams are third. Located near the historic city of Heidelberg, the high-speed Hockenheim circuit consists of two The outer section that runs through the sprawling pine forests combines huge straights with fast chicanes, whilst the technical stadium section consists almost entirely of slow corners. Originally built as a test track for Mercedes cars, this is the fastest circuit on the Formula 1 season.
Right, so we jump into practice, and I haven't crashed so far on my first lap out in practice until now, where I went on the grass twice there. Bit of a clumsy mistake, but we're not going to hit the wall, we're just going to miss it because there's runoff here, which is actually the drag strip now. But you'll see going around the stadium section, which of course is nearly identical to today's Hockenheim, I just go wide and then I go wide again, and that just spins my car around, and I'm lucky not to hit anything. I just go on that little bit of tarmac. And then on rejoining the track, I didn't realise that I actually had Mika Hakkinen with me, and I nearly crashed into him as he cuts the corner to avoid me. But at the end of that lap, we're going to set a 1:49, a very long lap here in Hockenheim. And our next lap we're improving, Hakkinen's improved as well to a 1:48.3 as we go across the line for a 1:49.1. And then I went into the pits and adjusted my car. I moved up the top speeds and suddenly I found a lot of time, because I found, look at that, a second in the first sector just from gearing alone. I actually hit 200 miles an hour at the end of the straight, which you haven't seen at any Grand Prix yet. And you'll see here at the end of this straight as well, I am 2.1 seconds up, but then I go wide into the stadium section. That's cost me a bit of time. And then to the line I set a 1:48.6, only 6 tenths off Hakkinen. And then on the next lap, of course, I don't do the error. I am 3 tenths down though in the second sector, but I managed to set a 48.1. And now we're going to jump into qualifying, where I'm going to of course lower down the fuel. But that's really encouraging to see that in practice, that I'm that close to AI, so we might get lucky here, especially with our setup. Now with our setup we are gaining something around 2.5 seconds in the first two sectors, but in the last sector we're losing around 2 seconds. But I set 46.8 here, which is a really fast lap time. So this is looking very encouraging. No other AI has set that in any practice session, but going to the line here we set 46.2, which might just be good enough for par. We'll see, as I'll hand you over to the grid as we now take a spin and hit the wall.
Hello there. Welcome to Germany for round 10 of the 1999 FIA Formula 1 World Championship. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Over 30 degrees and climbing. It's a fantastic day for Formula 1. The Williams driver starts his race from first. Schumacher second. David Coulthard just failed to match the pace of his championship rival. He starts third. Hakkinen fourth. Rubens Barrichello fifth. Schumacher was way off the pace of his teammate. He starts in sixth. Trulli seventh. Villeneuve eighth. Johnny Herbert 9th, Panis 10th, Damon Hill 11th, Zonta 12th, Irvine 13th, Alexander Wurz 14th, Frentzen, 15th. Genet, 16th. Giancarlo Fisichella, 17th. Jean Lacey, 18th. Diniz, 19th. Uca Badoa, 20th. Pedro de la Rosa, 21st. Takagi, 22nd.
Right, so we managed to get our second pole of the season, this one a bit more legitimately. We're using launch control again as we have the lights here at Hockenheim. And it is go. Let's see how the start is. It's not so good as Michael Schumacher and Mika Häkkinen and David Coulthard are passed into the first quarter. Rubens Barrichello isn't passed. We're down to 4th place, but I predict as the McLarens go very wide onto the gravel, which won't give them any speed at all. They're just going to go straight past them with a slipstream. Easy doings there is Mika Häkkinen, and then easy past David Coulthard as well. And we're catching up Michael Schumacher at such a rate. Look at the speed. We've got 200 miles an hour, 201 as we go around there and outside of Michael Schumacher. We're up into first place. Now we need to work on trying to build this lead up because I think that we have better pace, but of course we will need to pit stop. I'm not going to do a 22 lap sprint, and you can see in the background Heinz-Harald Frentzen actually didn't start. He stalled the car, so that's him out of the race as you saw 2 cars going off track. But you'll see here that I'm down into 4th. The McLaren's run off track for whatever reason, and I literally just go straight past them with the extra speed that I've got. Now I've been running a lot less downforce, which is the reason why it's not been as good in the last sector, because of course my wings are something like a 5th of what the AI are. But you can see that was a pretty easy move in the end into the chicane, and they had no chance of coming back at me. But moving on, you can see that I make a mistake here on lap 3, which is going to cut down our lead considerably. Could even be overtaken by Michael Schumacher here. He's within a second, and this is through the slow last sector as well, but I think we're going to keep it, and we are. So that's a bit of a clumsy mistake there, as we're going to go to the instant replay, as that was similar to what I did in practice actually, where I just went wide, but this time I didn't go as far, but Michael Schumacher came very close to overtaking us. And then on lap 11, of course, I had to have my pit stop, which is, you know, which is what we'd expect. But I gapped Michael Schumacher back to 13 seconds, so we should be able to catch them up by the end. That's my hope. We can win this race legitimately. Monaco was kind of not legitimate, but we can win this race legitimately on pace. So let's hope that this pit stop is okay, because of course Michael Schumacher is going to jump us in the pits, along with Mika Häkkinen and David Coulthard at least, as we go into the pits for 10 laps of fuel. Yep, so changing tyres again, obviously. And where are we coming out? There's Michael Schumacher, there's Häkkinen, Coulthard is passed, Rubens Barrichello is passed, Ralf Schumacher's 25 seconds back, so we'll clear him, and we're in 5th place already. So it looks like we've got points already in this race, which is encouraging to see after Austria. But we're behind Rubens Barrichello here on lap 13, looking to pass him. And you can see the McLarens and the Ferrari up ahead actually. That's how close we are to them now. But going through this last sector, Rubens Barrichello actually pulls into the pit lane, so he must have had a fuel problem or something, or a problem of some kind, because that doesn't usually happen with AIs. So we're past him, and we're up into 4th place. We've got Coulthard 3 seconds down the road, which we don't catch until lap 15. And we've got, of course, our OP straight line speed as we go down this back straight. And it looks like David Coulthard's being held up by the arrows. We're going to pull out very late, very, very late. Very lucky not to just smash into the back of the arrows or the McLaren there. But we're through and up ahead of David Coulthard, and we've now got Mika Häkkinen around 2 seconds ahead of us. But you can see here from the replay, it's going to give us a very wide angle, very close angle actually. But you can see that I nearly lost it on the grass on the other side of the track, avoiding them because I wasn't expecting them to be going so slowly. The arrows literally parked himself in front of David Coulthard, and the AI of David Coulthard didn't know what to do. But here on lap 16 we've spun the car. So it looks like it's going to be a bigger challenge to win this race, because we're only around a second behind Mika Häkkinen. But we've spun the car, I think we've braked on the grass and we've just spun around. So that's an awful mistake. We're now 4 seconds behind David Coulthard. And yes, we broke on the grass, and that was it. That spun our car around. And we're very lucky not to get taken out by, I think that's Tora Takagi, who came up behind us. But of course we've now got all the work to do again, and we've got David Coulthard ahead of us here going into whatever corner this is called. I have no idea. Very difficult chicane though. I had problems with this chicane over the weekend. But we're now going to slipstream David Coulthard. You can see how much he pulls away in that corner due to his downforce. But we're now just going to go and get the slipstream and accelerate all the way up to 200 miles an hour. Can we get David Coulthard for third place in this Grand Prix? Yes, we can. Easily done. And we're now looking at Mika Häkkinen, who's 4 seconds down the road. Now we should be able to catch him. And on the last lap, we're within a second. Can we get them on the last lap and win this race? That is the question. It's going to be difficult, but we've got the straight line speed. And going into this chicane, are we close enough to have an attack on the next straight? Let's hope so. Putting down the power, a little bit of wheel spin that's hampered us a little bit. And you can see that Mika Häkkinen's within a second, so he should catch up a significant amount. But Mika Häkkinen, of course, has the slipstream of Michael Schumacher, which is actually helping him a lot. So we're not catching up the normal amount. Within 4/10 there. We're going into the chicane again. Of course, they've got more downforce, and they're going to go straight ahead of us in terms of the times. And then going into the stadium section, are we close enough to have an attack? We get within 3/10, but no, we're going to have to brake for this right-hander. Now this is going to be very difficult for us to pass in the stadium section, but at least we've got a podium on the cards for the moment. But look how close we're getting to Mika Häkkinen and Michael Schumacher. Can we win this race to the line? This could be a really close cut thing, but they're pulling away in this last sector due to their downforce. I'm battling the car around these corners, trying my best, but unfortunately I dip a wheel on the grass, and that might be it for us, but we're going to score a third place here in Hockenheim, a deserved result.
Fascinating German Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the final results. Michael Schumacher first. Mika Häkkinen second. The Williams driver third. Coulthard fourth. Barrichello fifth. Ralf Schumacher sixth.
Yep, so we finished third. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the victory today. We had the pace to, but we just about couldn't get past Michael Schumacher and Mika Häkkinen. Without the spin, we probably would have gotten past. But a deserved podium and a good amount of points for Williams, especially with third and sixth, as I'm now going to hand you over to the drivers' standings.
With the results confirmed, it's high time we updated the Drivers' Championship. Häkkinen first.
Yep, so here are the drivers' standings, where we're sitting in fourth place. Quite a distance ahead of Williams Barrichello now, and David Coulthard is running away from us as well, so pretty much nailed in fourth place. Look at
McLaren stay ahead in the Constructors' Championship, despite having their lead reduced by this result. Ferrari are second, followed by the third place Williams.
Yep, so McLaren are completely running away with it, over double the amount of points of Ferrari, and we could still get Ferrari this season, so that's our aim. But next race is, I forgot what it is actually. I think it's Hungary. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let's hit 45 likes on this one. I really hope you enjoyed. Comment if you like it, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.